Well, after a choppy week of trade, Nifty hit a new life high as well. At the closing, it hit record high about those 24,800 levels. The top gainers included Tata Motors, HDFC Life. In broader markets, both mid-cap and small-cap indices advanced for the week. Sectorally then, Pharma was the top gainer, followed by autos and the IT stocks. Banks, on the other hand, continued its decline for the third consecutive week. And joining us today to weigh in on the markets is Ajay Bagga, market expert, who is joining us right now. Hello, Mr. Bagga. Thank you so much for joining us on Russia. Mr. Bagga, after those initial jitters that we saw post the budget, Nifty today finally snapped its 5-session losing streak, hitting those live record highs, 24,800 levels. Is it safe to say that now markets have finally fully digested the budget, the hike in LTCG, STCG tax, the ST on FNO, is that fully priced in now, digested now?
Yeah, I think so. I think the budget has got digested. And strategically, if you look at the budget with respect to last year's budget, what we have missed out is that with respect to the interim budget, the infrastructure was the same. But with respect to the last year's budget, there are a lot of positives in this budget. And I think the market is now focusing on those and ignoring the few irritants that were there on personal tax or on the capital gains tweaking that happened. So I would concur with that. Today's move shows that the market has moved on and the budget has become a non-event.
Right, Mr. Bagga, now that we are done with the July series, what can we expect from the August series? Can we see the August seasonality to continue, given that 3 out of 5, August, in the past 5 years, it has ended on a positive note?
Yeah, August will really depend on three things. One is how do the earnings pan out from here. The second very critical thing will be the global factors, and in that the Fed rate cut. If the meeting on July 31st, if they indicate that a September rate cut seems on the table, I think that will lead to a lot of the market going up. And the third very big factor will be the Bank of Japan policy. This week we got hit by three big trends. One was the great rotation out of big tech into other beaten down sectors globally. Second was the Trump trade taking over, with Trump having such a huge lead over his Democrat rivals. The Trump trade came in. And the third was the unwinding of the Japanese carry trade. So you saw the Mexican peso, the Australian dollar, and emerging market equities getting hit by that carry trade. So next week's Bank of Japan policy, I think, becomes very critical for performance in August.
All right, Mr. Bagga, we will be watching out for that, for the performance in the month of August. But sectorally, what are your bets? What are you betting on going ahead? Which sectors do you see value in?
I think IT and pharma both as globally recovering sectors, as well as not linked so much to the domestic economy and being under-owned. I think pharma has been consolidating for quite a few months, but they're coming back into focus. So IT pharma, metals on a Chinese recovery. So with China now showing intent to cut rates and to stimulate its economy, metals will be beneficiaries that will look at. And then the domestic cyclicals. I think the domestic cyclicals remain quite strong, be it banks, be it autos, be it the real estate sector, despite the capital gains change. All the real estate players have been saying on record that they don't see it hurting their demand. And clearly, the demand for users who are going to stay themselves, that doesn't get impacted. Demand for investors does get impacted, or people who are premiumizing, who are selling an existing property and buying another one. Even there, up to 10 crores, you have a carry. So it doesn't impact them so much. So I think all these budgetary factors are getting factored in. I think what's disappointing is I think FMCG recovery has got pushed out because the consumption stimulus that the budget is putting in is more longer term in nature, and there is no immediate trigger of a consumption stimulus. So I think the durables and FMCGs will take time to recover. Probably they'll go into the harvest time around October when money comes into the rural economy, that we will see these recovering, not right now. So that's the big change from pre-budget to post-budget.
All right, so IT, pharma and the domestic cyclicals is what we need to watch out for, and of course realty and FMCG is likely to take a bit of a time to pick up yet again. Thank you so much, Mr. Bagga, for joining us. On that note, we will let you go.
Thank you.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.